Elon Musk just sent a secret message to the Dogecoin community. Take a look at this. He's wearing, of course, in this picture, the Dogecoin t-shirt. By the way, Elon Musk also just liked this tweet showing a picture of him walking out of the building in the Dogecoin shirt. This picture, of course, confirmation Elon Musk still having fun with Dogecoin, but that is not the secret message. As awesome as it is to see Elon Musk in a Dogecoin t-shirt, and by the way, there's a bunch of other big juicy stuff that Elon Musk did today that we'll of course talk about as well. But the secret message within this picture is not the shirt itself, it is what he is wearing around his neck. This necklace right here has a moon rock on it. So Elon Musk, with this picture, is signaling Dogecoin to the moon. The first time we have heard, or at least had a hint of, Dogecoin to the moon in a few months now from Elon Musk. So definitely very exciting to see. As everyone knows, one of the main reasons why I'm so confident Dogecoin is going to get to $1 is because of the moon landing. And we're still hoping he's going to be able to pull it off this year, now that it is already December, and he's been massively distracted with Twitter. The chances of him being able to pull it off have gone down some, but it's still 30 days left in the year. Hopefully Elon Musk can find a way to pull it off as we continue to watch and wait for the magic to happen. That's not what it means, says James. What are you referring to? What doesn't mean what? Dogecoin to the moon, says Oscar Vlogs. And look at that. The rockets are gassing up, says Steven ALG. And yo, $1. Hello, yo. All the comments rolling in. That's right, $1 Dogecoin as a result of Elon Musk. You gotta love it. Remember, NASA just confirmed only a matter of days ago, Elon Musk may have decided to do this as a result of this. They awarded SpaceX the second contract option for Artemis moon landing, another $1.5 billion to SpaceX for the Artemis moon landing, expected to happen very soon here. Here is a chart that someone posted trying to roast Dogecoin, suggesting that Dogecoin, when it bounces, that's bad news for the crypto market. So surely they must have a case, right? Let's see what they have to say. And by the way, if you come into live, take a second to press that like button. Right now, it is 9:13 on a Friday, which means that we're not going to get a heck of a lot of viewers unless we press the like button. This is the least good time possible to post a video on YouTube, unfortunately. So you know what? We're doing it anyway. Whatever. I'm posting it. It's going to be up there. Just make sure that we are pressing the like button as much as possible so we can get new people in here and we can overcome the Friday bum of the views. It's always the same every Friday. It's the worst day to post. Never post on Friday. Well, what am I even doing here? But as we look, if you can see, meme cryptocurrency Dogecoin rallied 40% in the last 10 days, outpassing the 18% gains of Ethereum and 8% of Bitcoin. And they went ahead and made this entire chart. I don't know how much time this guy spent on this, but look, you can see. So he's trying to suggest with this chart, every time Dogecoin goes up, it causes a crash of the market. So let's go and look at the first one here. Dogecoin, by the way, is the red one, of which of course he made Dogecoin the red one, and then green is Bitcoin. And you can see here, so the first one, he immediately is already starting to debunk his credibility on the very first one. This is an article from CoinDesk, a pretty well-respected publication, at least, well, maybe they used to be, right? Maybe not anymore after an article like this, but a pretty well-known publication in the crypto space. You can see right there, he just automatically shows. So Bitcoin goes up a little bit actually ahead of Dogecoin, then Bitcoin and Dogecoin crashed at the exact same time, and he puts an arrow there. This one, Dogecoin spiked way up ahead, and then Bitcoin started falling and caused Dogecoin to fall with it. By the way, this is going all the way back to January of 2022. This is going back a very long time, and this just actually shows evidence that every time Dogecoin tries to spike, Bitcoin is the one that pulls it down. It's not that Dogecoin's pulling the market down. It's the exact opposite of what you're expecting. Dogecoin falls because of Bitcoin. This one here, Bitcoin started to go up. Then once Bitcoin started to fall, Dogecoin had much less momentum, and that spike of Dogecoin got destroyed. Over and over and over again, every single arrow he points to shows the exact opposite of the point he was trying to make with this article. I mean, it really can't get any worse than this. And now he's trying to say, once again, it's bad that Dogecoin's doing well. I mean, my goodness, what a dude. Dogecoin right now is continuing to have a nice upward trajectory. The pattern here is strong. The odds are in our favor. And of course, we're going to have a lot of fun with that. Elon Musk, he's been liking a lot of tweets on Twitter lately, commenting a lot of tweets on Twitter lately, including we've been interacting together a few times, which I think is honestly pretty cool because I have so much respect for what that dude's been able to build and what he's still building now. The courage he has to say things that most people wouldn't even dare to say if they had even half of the scrutiny that he has. If they even had no scrutiny. Most people are scared to say the stuff that he's willing to say, because right now he has been calling out, and it's important that he does this, he's been calling out politicians in a big way. Right now, you have seen the first of many times that Elon Musk is likely going to expose Twitter over the coming months and some of the crazy practices that they've done. When you're colluding with the government, that right there is what we see in communist countries. That's not freedom. And I don't care which party it is, Elon Musk actually exposing that Democrats and Republicans both to some degree try to do that. But it is true that Democrats did have more influence over social media. Regardless, I don't blame the Democrats or the Republicans for that. Of course, if you're a politician, you try to get more influence and power. That's what politicians do. It's the job of everyone else, and it's the role of the system, at least it's supposed to be, that it shuts those greedy politicians down. It stops them from getting that power that they want. And that's why it's Twitter's fault for allowing them to influence things. They would, for example, tell Twitter which accounts to ban. Politicians can't do that. Absolutely ridiculous. And they would do it based on which whoever had the opinions that called them out the most or disagreed with them the most or was getting traction, they would use that and call them out. Should not be happening. And what that has led to is Democrats getting worse. If you are a Democrat, you also should not want that. Because if Democrats are not held accountable, if they're not called out, then they don't have any incentive, at least not as much of an incentive, to get better and to do a good job and to work hard. So you need people calling out politicians. Whatever side they're on, you need constant scrutiny. The last thing we would ever want is for any party to not have to face the full level of scrutiny that they should have to face on social media. Republicans especially also need to face scrutiny, because Republicans really suck when they're not facing scrutiny. The only way Republicans have any chance of doing good things is if they're facing a ton of pressure and scrutiny. And so it's very important to have that open mindset that you need under all circumstances for the government to not have that kind of power over social media. You need free speech to be implemented, and you need for there to be no ties between the two of them. So that way the discourse can actually lead to improvements within politicians. It is what it is, but you can see here, this I thought was pretty dang good. Sam Bankman-Fried, the drama, the controversy with him continuing to heat up. Kim.com was on a space with Mario Nawfal. I mentioned that Mario Nawfal is a friend of mine on Twitter, and I enjoy listening to him. I've been on his space a few times and spoken on there. Mario Nawfal was getting some heat, though, because he had someone named Chet on the live stream who he is now apparently fired, who's working for him and helping him co-host. Chet was asking questions that a lot of people weren't happy with. They didn't think they were the questions that needed to be asked. Chet also decided to take Kim.com down from the pedestal of speaker after he asked these tough questions to Sam Bankman-Fried, which, by the way, everyone wanted the tough questions. No one wanted the softball questions. Everyone else was asking those. And so Mario actually came out and did the right thing here, which is, I think, moved on and is looking now for a new partner, a new co-host on Twitter. It makes a lot of sense to do that, because you don't want to have people upset at you if the right questions aren't being asked. And you had an opportunity, I think, to ask better ones. But anyway, this is the one that Kim.com asked, which was really the only good question of the entire spaces, arguably. I mean, there's a couple other good ones. I'm not going to say there's no good ones, but in terms of like actually really putting the pressure on him, this was the one. Alameda Research says that you knew the FTX customer deposits were misused in a breach of your own terms of service. He asked him to his face. It was pretty funny. I mean, Sam Bankman-Fried listening on the spaces, being asked this directly, called out, and you just had to sit there and listen to it. You have stated in several interviews without much confidence that if you didn't know, by saying that you are throwing that you didn't know. And he's of course referring to the customer deposits misused. He's saying he didn't know. But Caroline, who is his lover and also accomplice within his businesses, someone who has run one of the main arms of his business, Alameda Capital, she, the CEO of it, is now coming out and saying that he did know, but he's saying he didn't know. So what Kim.com's asking, by saying that, you're throwing Caroline under the bus, because if you didn't know, then she must be the culprit and legally responsible for the billions of missing FTX customer funds. It's no secret that Caroline and you had a romantic relationship. My take is that you had power over her, and she did what you asked her to do, bringing a ton of pressure there. And of course, then he decided to ask the two questions: why should anyone believe anything you say after you are throwing your own lover under the bus? Ooh, that one stings. And I was told Caroline's listening right now. Is there anything you would like to say to her? I bet she was listening. She wasn't listening from her main account, but she was listening, almost certainly, I imagine, from a burner account. And so he basically just responded. He said, yeah, I effed up, but I'm really offended by that question. Well, what do you mean you're offended by the question? So you just want to continued to ask softball questions? That's what you want to have everyone ask you, is just the easy softball questions like this, for example. Maxine Waters saying at SBF, by the way, he was a big donor to her campaign. Not surprised that this is happening now. We appreciate that you've been candid in your discussions about what happened to FTX. Your willingness to talk to the public will help the company's customers, investors, and others. To that end, we would welcome you to your participation in our hearing on the 13th. Oh my gosh. He's getting more softballs thrown at him than a women's Little League softball player. My gosh. And of course, this comment, hilarious. Lord Vader, we appreciate that you have been candid in your discussions about what happened to the Death Star. Your willingness to talk to the public will help Alderon's victims and survivors. To that end, we would welcome your participation in the Galactic Senate on the 13th. just legendary tweet right there. I love that. But yeah, I mean, it's time to stop letting people squirm their way out of trouble just from donating large amounts to politicians. Hold them accountable. Sam Bankman-Fried needs to be asked tough questions. He needs to be held accountable. And to the extent he did break the law, the consequences should be worthy of that crime. It shouldn't be that he gets off scot-free. Everyone, I think, who has a conscious mind can agree on that. But anyway, I'm Matt Wallace. Yeah, that's right. I'm talking about all the people who don't. Insult to you there. I'm Matt Wallace. This is Final Stand, and I'll see you in the next video.